Wanadhani ya bongo lala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wanadhani ya bongo lala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wambie punde imechoka sana.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wambie punde imechoka sana.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Ebu, listen to this clip from the Finnish president, Jana. Since you can't listen to us, maybe when Mzungu says it, you'll actually believe it. He talks about how the reason Finland chose to come to Kenya as the first country in Africa for their state visit and the first country in the global south is because Kenya is going to play an instrumental role in the new world order. And some of you are saying, ati, nyef, nyef, because I said Kenya is very significant. Now, they've just revealed that the PM of the divided kingdom also wants to come here soon. If you don't wake up, family, you'll be part of these guys' little whatever, instead of appreciating and experiencing and living the true awakening and royalty of Kenya. Because it's a mental thing, it's a conscious thing. If you don't know how you're going to be whatever, anyway, check it out.
I've been asked why did we want to come on our first state visit in Africa, and especially in the global south to Kenya. And I think the reason is very simple. Not only do we have a similar mindset, which William referred to earlier, believing in multilateralism and cooperation and peaceful coexistence and the UN Charter, but I, coming from a small northeastern country, also believe that Kenya will be one of the game changers in a new world order. And my take is very simple. This is one of these 1918, 1945 or 1989 moments when the world order is changing. It'll take about 5 to 10 years for it to settle, and we'll live in a world of disorder. And there are going to be a few countries in this world that are going to make a difference, and Kenya is certainly one of them.
Mwezi Agosti mwaka 2024, Rais William Ruto alisema kuwa hakuna Mkenya aliyetekwa nyara katika maandamano ya kupinga mswada wa fedha. Miezi minne baadaye, tarehe 27 mwezi Disemba mwaka jana, Rais William Ruto akatoa kauli kuwa atakomesha utekaji nyara wa vijana. Na usemi wa mwisho siku moja iliyopita ni kwamba Rais alitoa kauli kuwa wote waliotekwa nyara wako huru na wameungana na jamaa zao. Hebu niseme hivi kwamba matamshi ya Rais kuhusu utekaji nyara hayana miguu wala mikono. Alichokisahau Rais ni kwamba maneno yatokapo kinywani hayarejei, ni sawa na majani. Ni yeye alisema hakuna aliyetekwa nyara. Pengine alisahau akasema atakomesha utekaji nyara. Kathibitisha kwamba utekaji nyara ulikuwepo, kisha sasa anasema wote waliotekwa nyara wako makwao. Hili nalo limepingwa na mashirika ya haki za kibinadamu. Kwa mfano, shirika la haki la kimataifa IJM wiki moja iliyopita lilitoa taarifa kwamba utekaji nyara uliongezeka nchini kwa 450%. Kati ya visa vyote ni 2% pekee vilivyofika mahakamani. Hiyo si hoja. Kauli ya Rais ni kwamba waathiriwa wote waliorejeshwa nyumbani imepingwa na Vocal Africa. Kwa nini? Emmanuel Mokuria alitekwa nyara tarehe 25 mwezi Juni mwaka jana, hajapatikana. Dennis Shege alitekwa nyara tarehe hiyo hiyo, hajarejeshwa. Peter Masharia pia hajapatikana. Martin Bisi alitekwa nyara Disemba 17 mwaka jana, huko Mlolongo, hajulikani aliko. Kisha tunaye Kalani Mwema pia kutoka Mlolongo, na alitekwa nyara Disemba 17 pia hajaonekana. Ni wazi kwamba matamshi ya Rais kuhusu utekaji nyara si ya kweli. Si maneno tu, ila tutakubainishia kwa nini si ya kweli muda si mrefu. Moja kwa moja kutoka Jumba la Nation, hii ni idhaa ya Kiswahili ya NTV. Masalheri, tupate vipasho.
All of them have been brought back to their families and to their homes.
So guys, there is nothing that is so obvious right now than that God is on our side. There is nothing that is so obvious than that God is on our side. Because this confusion. It's not normal. It is not. Mulisikia jana vile Mr. One Time alisema? One time ina sound funny. Nimezoea tu must go. But one time must go. Anyway. Mulisikia vile must go jana alisema confusion. Acheni niwaonyeshe. Kanogo. There's a while back he said there's nothing like abductions. That's a lie. Jana, literally jana. Akasema hadi ni sawa basi mmenishika. Kila mtu mwenye aliabductiwa tulimrudisha na sitaifanya tena. Wewe. Excited is an understatement. Hey, you know this guy, hata tukimpeleka sijui wapi, evidence ni video zake mwenyewe. Mnakumbuka ile round table ya Linus ya Mr. President, look, take a look at this video. Literary. Anyway, must go one time.
If you can please get time and go watch PLO's Lumumba's Fixing the Nation episode at NTV yesterday, please go and watch. And there's something I've picked from his interview, and he's saying very clearly, there's something that happened last year. Young people removed fear and went to the streets and took back their voice. We may not know how to get to the end, but we already have the end very clearly in our minds. We know what we need to do to achieve that. Everything else will align. Msijali. But we keep saying it, we keep speaking about it in our platforms because we know deep in our heart what a country should be and how good governance should be like. We should be feeling it and what kind of leaders we expect. Cleaning the rot and toxicity in the political space and leadership and governance is not an easy job, but we already started this and we are going to finish it one way or the other. Amenipea nguvu sana.
So William Ruto has finally admitted fundamentally that his administration was behind the abductions that took place in Kenya in the aftermath of the chaos that happened on the 25th of June 2024. Now, today is the 12th of May 2025, or rather this video is recorded on the 12th of May 2025, and on this day Ruto held a joint press conference with the president from Finland and made those remarks, suggesting that all those young Kenyans who had been abducted by the state have been released to their families. But his statement, of course, looking into the future, I think he must be held accountable. Once he is out of office as the president, he must be held accountable for all these injustices committed by the Kenya Kwanza regime. Not only him, but the henchmen. I mean, the cabinet secretaries in the different ministries, for example, the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination, the security agencies, I mean, the police, the National Intelligence, even the Kenya Defense Forces, all those ones involved in the killing of innocent people, injuring, innocent people, abducting innocent people, they must be held accountable. Otherwise, if they are not held accountable, then we will not be dispensing justice as expected. Now, William Ruto's admission reminds me of one thing that I usually think about. I mean, in my life as a leader, in my own small way or big way, in some of the leadership positions I've held, or even some of the current positions that I held in maybe a few places. Look, the first day that you take over a certain office or you take over a certain role as a leader, it should be also the same day that you think about when you will be out of that position, that leadership position. The problem with most people who get into leadership positions is that they get so obsessed. I mean, power gets into their head. what Lord Acton called that absolute, or rather said, that absolute power corrupts, or rather power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So once you allow that sort of power to get into your head, that is when you start failing as a leader. So the first day you get into an office as a leader, remember what you're going to deliver to the people or whoever you're working for, and also think about the last day when you will be leaving that position, because your current actions as a leader will determine your legacy. However great you may be, or however smart you may think you are, always remember that in any leadership positions, once you commit what are known as strategic mistakes, then your legacy, a better part of it, will be on the line, depending on how, the magnitude or the degree of those, the strategic mistakes that you have committed. Of course, as I wind up reading this amazing, interesting book, Napoleon's Biography by Felix Markham, which I think maybe I'll finish in the morning of 13th of May, maybe by 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. History is kind to people like Napoleon Bonaparte. Towards the end of his reign as the emperor, he made certain strategic mistakes, which definitely perpetuated his fall from, grace to grass, or rather, his capitulation from power. I have seen the strategic mistakes committed by William Ruto, and I can't think of the likes of Napoleon Bonaparte, though you cannot compare the two. Napoleon was a military and political genius who was in his own class, but ultimately, because he was stubborn and never wanted to change some of his strategies, he ended up, being a villain of some sort towards the end of his rule as emperor. If you read history, you may not even have to read extensively some of these historical developments, but you look at some of the political leaders who have been there, even in Africa here, the likes of Robert Mugabe, the likes of Mobutu Sese Seko, people whom, and many others, people whom maybe some thought they are kind of immortal or, larger than life. Towards the end of their rule, they became weak, confused, committed strategic mistakes, and they were out of power. So William Ruto is not an exception. He is not an exception. And I don't see how he's going to make it back to State House. Look, after June 25th, William Ruto, of course, June 25th happened because he made certain strategic mistakes. And even after June 25th, he has never really cared to, address some of the issues. He may have had an escape with his upcoming 2025 finance bill, but that does not negate the fact that we are seeing more and more allocations towards the repair and maintenance of state houses and state lodges across the country. Why is William Ruto wasting billions of money repairing the state house and state lodges? We don't need those aesthetics at this time. We need basic services, healthcare, roads need to be constructed, hospitals need to be supplied with medicine. People need to be employed in the public sector. Number two, wanton spending, unnecessary spending by state officials. It's out of the roof completely. He made a promise to address that. He has not addressed that. Number 3, he said that he was going to cut on the number of advisors. He did not do that. In fact, we have seen an increase in the number of advisors. If you ask me, I think of the large team of advisors, of William Ruto's advisors, as an extra legal cabinet. If you're a president, your work is very simple. Once you have competent cabinet secretaries, those ones should act as your advisors. You may just need to have 2 or 3 by your side, but you don't need a large team of advisors. So he has gone against that. And this team of advisors of William Ruto, in a financial year, the expenditure is around 1 billion Kenyan shillings. What for? William Ruto towards after June 25th also promised to audit the public debt. I think he'd given a timeline of 6 months. Have we ever seen results? Has the public debt ever been audited? So think about that. But we are still pressing on the gas. This country must change because Kenya definitely belongs to all of us.
During campaigns, he vowed that no extrajudicial killings, no forced disappearances or abductions would happen under his watch. During the Gen Z protest, extrajudicial killings, forced disappearances and kidnappings were the order of the day. After the Gen Z protests, him and the IG both said that none of those things had happened, and the IG even went further and said that they didn't know who was abducting young Kenyans. And then today he stands on a podium, mic in hand, and says that all the people that had been abducted were returned to their families and reunited with their families. Which of these times do you think he was lying? Ni time gani unafikiri alikuwa anadanganya? And who does that? What kind of a leader does that? You keep saying you're a father, you're a father. What kind of a father does that?
Wakenya, tumeambiwa watoto wenu wamerudishwa. Ruto amesema kwamba watoto wote walikuwa kidnapped during reject finance bill. Wamerudishwa wote. And I don't know is confirming all the abductees who have been abducted, they have returned back. I don't know who is confirming like who and how is telling Kenyans that all kids which have been abducted wamerudishwa makwao. Who abducted those kids? Hey, I swear, no man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. But this one, I don't know what should I call it. Pathological liar. What should we call our president? Wah? I swear this man can lie. This man can lie. And that is why I always repeat this one thing. Is this man okay? Is this man okay upstairs here? Wajua, we could be looking at a man thinking that this man is okay upstairs. Kumbe, we are being led by a man who has a very serious disorder and we don't know what is he suffering from. My goodness. Wah? So, wazazi, wale watoto wenu waliokuwa abducted. The president is not telling us who abducted our kids, but he's confirming all of them are back. Waliosema Mr. President sir, Mr. Speaker sir, Ruto must go katika bunge. All of those vijana tunajua walifutwa. Bula hatujaiambiwa wamerudishwa. Nani hatujui. Tafadhali wazazi, confirmini down on the below, on the comment below. Tuambieni kama watoto wenu wamerudishwa ndio tujue tunaanza wapi. Kwa sababu hii finance bill ya hii term tunaenda ku reject. 2025 finance bill tunaenda ku reject tena. So wa confirm tena next year kuwa wameturudisha sote. Tumeelewana? Damn. I swear, whenever they say that no man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar, this one is a pathological liar, and he's a successful lying because he can lie and lie and lie. And do you know why? Because we are fool and stupid as Kenyans. Now that's why wakiwa inside doors wanasema Wakenya kuna mahali wataenda. Tuliwaua kidogo, hawezi kuja kwa barabara. Wakenya, amkeni. Time is up.
The clock has stopped. Now is your time to stand up. The minute you stand up, the clock will start ticking again, okay?
What Wakili is saying, that is the way.
You agree to it?
I agree.
You've taken your time to...
Yes, I've read it.
Actually, we have done this mathematics here.
You're convinced?
Yeah.
Yes, because in is a specific period of time.
Okay.
In. So in the 5th year, it says here, section 136(2)(a, being the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year. In every 5th. It's not at the end of, you finish 5 years and then you now do an election. It says in the second Tuesday. So the 5th year is between, we were doing our calculations here, 9th of August 2026 to 8th of August 2026.
And you want to say that the last day of the 5th year cannot be in?
No, but it's specific.
The first, second
Tuesday
of August.
All right. So this one falls on 2026.
That's correct. You see, because the 5th year runs, it's not the January, it's not a calendar year, January to December. It is, it cuts across August 26th to August 27th. So within there, that is the 5th year. So within, and if we understand the meaning of the term in, it is in that time of between that August to the other August of 2027 is when the election must take place.
We're not coming to the streets because there's anyone who wants your job really. We're coming to the streets because it's scary that you are in office.
It is.
You told Uhuru, usiue watoto wangu. And then you've sent your cops to watoto wa wengine.
Yeah.
The God you serve will visit you.
That's true.
Very well. You told people, hii government ni ya mwananchi. Mwananchi has the chance to fire and to hire. And then here you are, killing mwananchi, threatening mwananchi, abducting children. You know, you're fighting with kids. Presidents have fought big things by the way.
But you're fighting with
children.
You're
fighting with the children of the nation.
Yeah.
These things should call you to reflect and talk to your advisors like a man.
So say
it with your chest. Guys, can we find a solution?
Someone is saying that Raila should not be touched. This is the first person that should go home. Raila worked with Moi, he worked with Kibaki, he worked with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. As per now, he's the pocket of William Samoei Ruto. He's the same person who suspended Ruto in 2008 when Ruto was in the Ministry of Agriculture and he sold 7 billion. Raila suspended him. He didn't return those money as per now they're working together. Kenya cannot even be redeemed by Raila Amolo Odinga. Kenya cannot be redeemed by William Samoei Ruto because he has messed. Kenya cannot be redeemed with the Rigathi Gachagua and the likes. We as Genesis, we have 16 million votes and we are not afraid. I want to tell you for free, we are coming one-on-one to meet these people. Bro, coming 2027, this guy used churches in 2022. He gave pastors something small. He gave them some sweets. Pastors gave in and campaigned for him in churches. He came to Mama Mboga. He knew Mama Mboga is having votes because he's having customers. Can lure for them some small fish, some omena. By 2027, Gen Z have a candidate which is going to meet William Samoei Ruto. But these cocoons, they are gathering together. Nothing.
As we believe that those who aspire for leadership should be discussing how to liberate this country economically. Okay. How do you change the lives of our people? Because of what need is it if I'm going to discuss with someone about forming a coalition? And yet, they were part of the odious debt that is strangling this nation. Will they agree to us declaring this debt odious and saying we are not going to pay any debt that was taken illegally, that didn't fund any single project in Kenya? Will they agree to such a conversation? They will not. So let them do their thing. We will market ourselves to the people of Kenya. Our house is self-contained. We have our president candidate, Jimmy Wanjigi, and I'm here, running mate, Willis Otieno. So what are we negotiating with them?
So for you, you don't even have to think about who is the flag bearer, who is the...
Our house is self-contained. It's settled, it's self-contained. We are talking to the people, and we are doing enough that the people will see in the fullness of time. We don't have to react to what other people are doing. Let them also do their game. We are also doing our own game. Safina Party is purely about economic liberation of the nation. Let every campaign define what they represent. Because as we believe, the space that we occupy, it's about the economic emancipation of our people. It's not about positions for individuals. You saw ODM as some of them shouting loud that now they want to be given positions in William Ruto administration. That is their right. They can go and get those positions. Because then they believe that leadership is about positions for individuals. We are not in that space. And we cannot caucus with anybody who is discussing leadership of this nation on the basis of positions to individuals. We have a running president and his running mate. We have an agenda. Our agenda is about economic liberation of the people of Kenya. And we invite Kenyans to get into this economic discussion space. Because of what value is it that if Mbadi is on the table, all lawyers are full. If Oparanya is on the table, all lawyers are full. That's the politics that they know. That William Ruto eats for all Kalenjins. That is what the traditional politicians know. As we are not in that space, as we believe everybody should be rich, the government should come up with policies that enables the individual, wherever he is, to be able to get economic emancipation. But when Mbadi is sitting there and they are taking illegal loans in the name of the people of Kenya, how does that enrich the poor Luo man in Sindo Beach, in Homa Bay? What it means is that now Mbadi must also come up, after taking that loan, he will come up with a new finance bill that increases the taxes, charges, and levies. For that poor man in Sindo, that man who is crying about economic pain, they are going to ask him to pay more in taxes.
But Mbadi said that is not the case this time.
Write it down. The finance bill is coming soon. They are going to increase taxes, charges, and levies. It is coming. Write it down. That I swear. They are going to increase your taxes, charges, and levies, whether you like it or not. But he can say all he wants to say. But your taxes are going up. But your earning has not increased.
Is it a must that the government has to come up with another finance bill?
But they have to finance their budget. How will they finance it? Already they have told you that their budget for this coming financial year is going to be 4.7 trillion. Yeah. So how will they finance it? Their collections today, on average, on revenue, you are averaging 160 billion per month. Your collections are barely hitting 2.1 trillion. Your debt finance for this year was going to be 1.9 trillion. Next year, your debt payment is at 2.1 trillion. You have a budget of 4.7 trillion. So tell me, how will you finance it without raising taxes? Because it's financed from people's money. So they have to come back to you and ask you to collect, to pay. Yeah.
Range Rover,
$430,000.
$180,000.
Lexus LX 600,
$300,000.
$150,000.
LC 300,
$200,000.
$100,000.
Toyota Fortuner,
$80,000.
$35,000.
Prado 250,
$130,000.
$65,000.
I am the president of Kenya, but the president doesn't hold a desire.
Finish him.
Matiang'i has never been the candidate of any young people. I'm shocked someone thinks Matiang'i is the candidate of any young person. Yeah. We know Matiang'i as the strongman of the Jubilee regime that put this country in extreme crazy debt, as the guy who occupied the office of the deputy president during the Jubilee regime. We know him as the strongman internal security minister. We know him for the Ruaraka land saga. No one knows Matiang'i for any good. Yes, exactly. And the killings during COVID and all of those things. So anyone who thinks Matiang'i is a savior, lost.
Yeah.
Kenyans, hawa ndio wakombozi. Same old monkeys, baboons, gorillas, different forests.
Mama yangu, game over.
Wanauliza kama Kenya
na vitu zina happen in country ikifika 2027 na uko 18 plus tukupate bila kura. Ai, utatuambia unaishi wapi? Utatuambia unataka nani apeleke Ruto nyumbani?
So guys, kitu must go hajui, sasa tumechangamka. Tunangoja finance bill. tutokea 1 year anniversary. 1 year. Anza kutafuta bendera na firimbi kwenye ulieka. Tafungua store. Because, get ready. Tumechanga, tushapiga pre-game.
Kiongozi wa Kenya Kwanza ni nani? Ni Ruto. Kwa hivyo shetani katika hii Kenya ni nani? Ni Ruto. Na ueleze mpaka jirani yako, ueleze mtoto wako, ueleze mjukuu wako aelewe kwamba shetani wa Kenya ni nani? Ni Ruto. Kwa hivyo kila siku asubuhi ukiamka unasema ashindwe.
Huyu Ruto mumwambie tumechoka naye. Kama inatakana tubadilishe katiba ni kupunguza miaka ya Ruto, sio kuongeza atifike 7. We cannot wait to get an opportunity kutuma huu mtu nyumbani kwa sababu kazi imemshinda. Ruto tunataka kwanza kupunguza tamu yake. Kama ingewezekana hii mwaka ingeisha kama huyu mtu amekaa kwa hiyo kiti. Aende nyumbani, kazi imemshinda.
You like me, why them a fight me? You like me, chewing a bomb, bite.
TJ, bomb them, never stop.
We not trust them, even if we bust them. We not trust them, stay fine, not touch them. We not trust them, hope their man not sub them. Informer me say you must them.